A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. Well, we have just had a big update on the Champions Trophy as to what are the options that are left. But there is also simultaneous build-up for the Border-Gavaskar Trophy at this point, because one person is dominating the entire discourse when you have to look at Australia. So, let me first give you the major update with the Champions Trophy. Now, in the live that we have just done a couple of minutes back, you can just say that yes, the Pakistan Cricket Board are playing hardball and the BCCI are adamant that they are not going to play in Pakistan. Now, this has put the ICC in a big quandary, and because of that now, India will be hoping that India and Pakistan will both be hoping that the situation is resolved. But if Pakistan are adamant that they will not go past the hybrid model, they will insist that the tournament be played in Pakistan, there could be severe repercussions. So that is why India playing a tournament without India could mean massive issues. And giving the spot to someone else also, that is also a massive issue that is there. So Pakistan, India, the Champions Trophy, this is only going to get worse and complicated as the days progress, because the ICC will have to jump in at some point and make the decision as soon as possible. Now, from the ICC Champions Trophy, let us shift attention to the BGT. And one particular man is dominating that discourse, Virat Kohli. Now, in several Australian newspapers in Adelaide, when you look at it, Virat Kohli is there in the front page with the Indian national flag behind him. And here in the Advertiser, in one of the Adelaide newspapers, Yugong ki ladai, a fight for the ages. That is how the build-up has been in Australia when you have to look at the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, because it is a marquee summer that you're going to have. If you think that the Ashes was the number one rivalry in cricket, think again. It is Australia versus India at this point in time. It is the rivalry in cricket because India have been dominant over Australia for the past 8 years now. 4 BGT tournaments that they have won, 2 in Australia, 2 in India. Will they become the first team after South Africa to win 3 consecutive series in Australia? That is going to be very important here. But looking at India's momentum, it's not been ideal. So that is why this series begins on an even keel, looking at even Australia's problems at this point in time. So Virat Kohli is the dominant lead up to it. In fact, so dominant has been Virat Kohli in the lead up to it. One of the broadcasters made a big mistake in the BGT graphic. Pat Cummins on one side and Virat Kohli on the other, when it should ideally have been Rohit Sharma. So Virat Kohli, the Australian media's obsession with Virat Kohli now is reaching fever pitch, and that's why it's right there. The build-up is there with Virat Kohli in front. The Optus Stadium, one of the prime venues in Test cricket, and which is going to host the first season opener of the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. India have played at the Optus Stadium in 2018, but then unfortunately they lost that test match. They didn't play in 2020, 2021 in Perth because the COVID restrictions were so harsh in Perth. Now, at this point, the pitch curator who's there, he's promised pace, bounce, swing. Now, does that sound familiar? Because this had happened even in 2008 also at the WACA, but India managed to break Australia's 16-match winning streak at the WACA and ensured that they became the first Asian nation to win at Perth. So that is why once again the same talk, pace, bounce, swing. Perhaps this Indian cricket team will yet again show Australia, they'll give Australia a dose of their own medicine, because India's pace bowlers are also no less at this stage. We now know the timings for the World Chess Championship that is going to happen in Singapore. Gukesh versus Dinglish is going to happen at 2:30 p.m. IST. So that means the games will stretch on from 2:30 p.m. all the way until maybe 7:30 or 8:30 p.m. because most classical games might last for 4 to 5 hours at max. So 4-5 hours or even 6 hours at this stage. So it's a very vital tournament that Gukesh is playing. You might have a world champion from India after 12 years, but it is not going to be easy one bit. The India women's team have made a great start in the Asian Champions Trophy when they have won their first game 4-0, but tougher tests await them. Remember, the timings have been pushed back in Rajgir because of whatever is happening in the night time, because this stadium is surrounded by paddy fields, and because of the insect infestation that is happening when the floodlights are on, no matches will be held in the night time. So all the games will begin in the afternoon, then late afternoon, and then towards the evening time when the sun is about to set, the games will be over. So that is why India have made a great start. Remember, they are the dominant side when it comes to Asia, but yet again, women's team is undergoing a big transition after they failed to qualify for the Paris Olympics as well. So today there is lots to talk about in the world of sport, especially when you look at the Champions Trophy, especially when you look at the Border-Gavaskar Trophy build-up, and also what is going to happen going ahead. So thank you so much folks for joining us for this live. Subscribe to Sports Today. We'll be back with lot more updates from the cricketing world as well as the sporting world. Bye-bye.